Sometimes we suggest not to use AI.
The ability to understand business goals and transitioning those goals into software solutions, that's big aspect of the business that we are in.
In most of the projects, those are not trade-offs. For example, if you use facial recognition, this is about convenience, and it is also about the security.
There's going to be two things that you probably know at a world-class level, and then you can go horizontal from that and have general knowledge across so many other disciplines.
One thing about time and material, this is the safest business model probably to go with the customer. So you don't do preliminary assumptions. You don't guess, right?
It's not AI that will replace you. It's somebody else who knows how to use AI well.
So with LLMs, everybody is happy already. Everybody understands how to use that. And the next step, I think, is to understand how to get money out of that.
I liked your post that was talking about the concept of a 30-day MVP. What have you seen that can be realistically built in that 30-day timeline? Kind of functionality.
We always ready to work on repository of our customers, and they see every movement on our side, and they see every line of code the same moment we wrote it.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Curiosity Code podcast. I'm Alex, founder and CEO of Productera, and today we're talking about value. How software agencies demonstrate it, deliver it, and stand out by providing it in the world of fintech. Our guest today is Vyacheslav Kostin, CEO and founder of Visla Code Solutions. Slava knows quite a thing or two about building valuable solutions, to say at least. His company focuses on security, scalable software, tailor-made for the needs of fintech clients. With over 24 years of experience, including leading digital transformation at Alpha Bank, he seen how the right agency can make all the difference. We'll explore how agencies can showcase their security expertise, communicate the benefits of agile, and help clients navigate the sea of trendy tech to find solutions that truly last. Welcome, Slava.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And I hope I will be able to answer those, questions.
Sure. And so today is the special episode. Is it happened to be? I have here also Ilya, Director of Growth at Productera. Hi, Ilya.
Hi there, Alex.
And we also have Brendan, CMO of Productera.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, coming over to Europe for this special podcast.
Yeah, so we're going to have like a little bit of panel discussion here. To kick things off, Slava, tell a bit about Visla Code. What's the goal of the company? What you guys are doing there? What's the philosophy?
Yeah, with pleasure. What we do software development in fintech and banking. These spheres are my nature spheres. I used to work for banks for, as you mentioned, for more than 20 years already. I used to be strategy director and e-commerce director, and I was responsible for IT, for delivery, for projects, etc., etc. So all my experience I got from my previous life I put here into this company. And of course, we are focused on fintech solutions and banking solutions. And you ask about the meta and the purpose of the company. So we help our clients to navigate in this VUCA world in fintechs and digital services and digital transformation. I'm also a graduate from Executive MBA from Switzerland, so I also implement consulting projects and offer consulting projects for customers. So digital transformation is in both ways here, on business side, on strategy side, and on technological side. So that's in short what we do.
Feel like we are in the same business, so I can relate a lot to what you just said. Let's talk a bit about way agencies like us balance between secure, scalable applications and service quality and customer experience. How do you guys balance those sometimes competing priorities? Is it about finding the right clients, having specific project management style, or something else entirely?
Yeah, first of all, we work in fintech and banking and insurance sphere. This means that our customers are mature enough to ask ourselves to comply with the security guidance. But from other side, I can tell you that in most of the projects, those are not trade-offs. For example, if you use facial recognition, this is about convenience, and it is also about the security. If you use encryption, this is must-have, and we usually don't trade off those principles, and we follow OWASP, etc. And it's under the cover. We even don't like discuss with customers that we should follow those principles. That's very rarely that customers do not allow us to follow security principles. But from other side, of course, we have to explain them how to use several approaches, and they have to explain them because they invest and they pay for that, at least. Yeah. So that's why we also educate them. But I would like to repeat that it's almost maybe 90% of time we don't have trade-off. We use security rich implementation and very good implementation, and it helps us to build very good customer experience.
Right.
Especially nowadays, For example, I can give you several examples. For example, one of our last projects, we made facial recognition and recognition of video plus geopositioning inside shops in order to help our customers to make barrierless payments for their customers, for their clients. So that's from one hand, this is secure because we have several authentication tokens or like dimensions of security. We recognize, we understand the queue, we understand the positioning, we understand the mobile and the mobile application with its keys, etc. From one hand, and from other hand, this is still, effortless and very easy customer experience.
Right. Yeah. Technology is a big aspect of business because a software development company that sits in the core. But I think also ability to understand business goals and transitioning those goals into software solutions. That's big aspect of the business that we are in. Can you share an example of how you guys bridge this gap, like understanding clients' business goals and the security aspects and technological aspects, and what, in your opinion, is the key for agencies to prove that they actually get it, not just say they do?
That's a very good question. And you mentioned like term agencies. I don't really like it, frankly speaking. Yeah. Because agencies is something about HR, maybe HR and hiring procedure and giving like a workforce, not intellectual property or intellectual efforts to customers' projects. So that's why we differ from agencies, as I hope. We are a small company, and as I mentioned, I have quite a big experience in different spheres. I used to work for IT, for banking, for several banks, for a group of banks, for fintech companies, for payment companies, mobile operators, etc. And sometimes when we start talking with our customers, sometimes I can make a guess, and it almost that I guess well their priorities in business. This is first part of the answer is that we have to have experience in that business and have to understand how do they brief on a business side, not on technological side, but on a business side. I can give you like a story. Please stop me if it's too much. So I can give a story when I moved from IT company to bank side on a business side, and my previous company came to me to sell some things, and I looked at them and I didn't understand what are they talking about because my mind already shifted to different priorities, completely different priorities. So understanding these both sides, that's very important. That's the first thing. And from technological side and project management, I would like to mention that we always ask our customers what is his pain point, and we start architecture, UX, UI, etc. from from solving this pain point, because speed is very important, and we have to invest as low effort, as low money, amount of money into this implementation as we can to reach significant effect on a business side. And that's why we always ask, for example, if bank wants to become leader in loan in mobile on their market, this means that we will create user interface focused on that. If a bank has different target, for example, to rise transactional activity, this is completely different application, and we ask them for the most significant main goal we have to implement. And this dialogue helps us a lot, and it helps us to manage scope of the project. It's also beneficial for both sides, for customer and for ourselves. So this dialogue, experience, and very strong focus on our side for the main goal of our customer. Ideally, only one goal.
Right, that makes sense. To summarize it, it's a combination of professional experience and asking the right question at the right moment and focusing and just delivering the solution that's in alignment with.
I'd like to add that I'm talking about myself, but the team is much more significant part of this process than myself. And if your programmers, for example, don't ask about business goals and about targets, it will not fly. For example, I've heard 1,000 times, maybe hundreds times, when a technological company comes and asks, what do you want us to deliver? Mm-hmm. And they don't understand what we would like to achieve with this delivery. It will not work as efficient as I hope we have to help our customers.
How do you accomplish that from the organization point of view? Like how Visla code is structured?
Absolutely ordinary structure, but we are open and transparent to our customers, and we are open to our team also. So we force our programmers, our project managers, to ask questions and to doubt if they see something works in not a perfect way. For example, now we have very good ongoing project, but sometimes we see that from risk perspective, management from our customer chooses decisions with risk averse practice. Mm-hmm. This means that it will be heavier to customers in terms of UX UI and workflow. It will be heavier to convert those customers to real active customers, returning customers, etc. And then in this case, my team comes to me and I raise those questions with regular shareholders calls, and I even provide them with our own internal investigation of their competitors, but they don't pay us for that. But we want to deliver service which will be competitive. So those discussions helps us to understand customer better and to help them to deliver. And after that, we have very good feedback from their side.
Before I pass it over to the guys, Ilya and Brendan, just question from my side I cannot resist asking, to be honest. You mentioned that you don't like term agency. Me neither. Like, how do you guys call yourself?
IT company, software development company.
Spot on. I do the same. I think we had this conversation with Ilya and Brendan at some point. Like, I don't like this term.
we're talking about differentiation here. And if you come to customer or to, like website, maybe you go to Web Summit and introduce yourself as an agency. This means that the next stage you will talk to your customer, potential customer, about prices. Mm-hmm. If you are talking about fintech development focused company with expertise, where every member have more than 10 years of experience in this particular sphere, this is completely different discussion about values, about outcomes, about business goals. So that's the difference.
That's great. Guys, Ilya, Brendan, passing the stage to you.
Sure. So why don't we go in that a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit earlier on one industry versus offering that broader range. Like, I don't know, everyone gets started in that agency life, but you came from banking. Have you seen that value come from that focus and then being able to expand from that? Because I think like that land and expand is so important to being a development partner. Where have you seen that kind of growth?
I see. I talk a lot with different potential customers, with different companies. I investigate a lot. That's how we met each other with Ilya on Nordic Forum. And what I hear back from my respondees is that they always require narrow, very focused, and very good deep knowledge in particular sphere. They don't require, at least from our companies, we are not a big company, we are a big boutique company. Nobody expects us that we can deliver like 200 developers in 2 weeks. Yeah, we don't do that, and we can't. Unfortunately, we cannot compete on this stage. This means that everybody is searching for specific, unique competence. But when you go with this competence, for example, we go with mobile banking, with FinTech solutions. When you go with that, that's very difficult for the customer to find all other pieces of the puzzle. This means that you have to support them with CI/CD process, with server-side software development, with data warehouse, with AI, with open API infrastructure, etc. Because he cannot just order mobile banking from you, because mobile banking, this is front end for all the stuff behind the stage inside the bank, and you have to integrate, you have to help them to implement microservices, etc. This means that you have to have very deep and as narrow as you can expertise to open the door. But after that, you have to understand how to support this process and how to deliver whole project from scratch to final result. So that's why we focus on our expertise, because it helps us to start dialogue. But after that, we try to support all necessary expertise to deliver the result.
Yeah, a lot of learning there in terms of the tried aspects for building a company. Everyone wants to be like, maybe take conversations that would steer you in different directions, and having that narrow focus. I think that there's so much to learn and deliver. I would look at that as like the T-shaped kind of skill set. There's to me two things that you probably know at a world-class level, and then you can go horizontal from that and have general knowledge across so many other disciplines. But when they come to you, they're looking for your world-class talent, and that's where you can have that differentiator.
Yeah, that's why I answered Alex that possibly I will not have all the answers, because when you have a narrow focus, that's difficult to switch to another focus, and it's difficult to find your auditory, and you always ask yourself whether this focus is good enough, or should we refocus somewhere, etc. We always run several, projects in different technologies and different approaches with AI, with mobile technologies, etc., etc. So we try to understand that how it works in nowadays world. But still, without focus, I found that it's not possible to get to decision makers and to have meaningful conversation. After that, if you work for food, you can do everything. This means that, as I mentioned, next stage you will talk about prices, and that's all. This will be only your differentiator, and we don't want to go this way, because first of all, we cannot compete with companies who can deliver with lowest prices, because we have like 10 plus years experience team with learnings, with education, with experience of dozens of projects. It cannot cost us low prices, and for sure it's not possible to compete only by price. We have to deliver value, and that's how we sell.
I'd love to dig deeper into this topic, niching and winning a niche. Because once we've met, we've been talking a lot about sales and marketing tactics, how to win over the customer, how to open that door and start that conversation. Obviously, once you are there, you will talk about your craft, right? You will show your expertise, you will tell about the projects, the cases, but could be talk a little bit more about opening the door and winning both inbound and outbound sales and marketing strategies and tactics. What do you do in order to get on a meeting with a customer?
Thank you for this question. You know, that's if I knew this answer.
I mean, we all struggle, right?
Yeah. What I do now? First of all, I use my personality, because I have trust in banking sphere, in top management sphere, because I used to be C-level executive in banks, and I have very good executive MBA from Switzerland. So we have alumni network, etc. So people usually trust me for the first call, for the first meeting, and they expect that they will hear something meaningful from me during this call. So this is first approach. Secondly, as I mentioned, I provide consultancy work, me and my team, my CTO, etc. This doesn't mean that this is our strategic focus, but still this is part of the value proposition, and this is part of the mechanism of opening the doors. Sometimes you come with consultancy work, and then the next step you have to support your advice, and you have to deliver what you found. This is a tricky question, because I'm very strict in terms of conflict of interest. If I go as a consultant, I will not sell my team directly, because I have to do my consultant work very good. But still, this is a way to build trust. The third one approach is piloting, because a lot of big companies and medium-sized companies works from the point of risk-averse strategy. So manager in a big company, he's in a safe position if he will hire, for example, Accenture. Yeah, but he is not in the safe position if he will hire us, because we are a small boutique company, and sometimes they don't know us, but we can deliver, and we have to prove it. And sometimes we go to the customer and ask them to give us anonymized data. For example, if you talk about AI and I work with big data, they give us anonymized data, and we make small pilot, deliver them, show them business result, and after that we go forward. And in terms of marketing instruments, we use as all we do. We use LinkedIn, we use conferences, we use account-based marketing, and we use emails, and it works well. But you have to do it with not toxic way. And we experiment a lot with those instruments.
Interesting. So if I reflect that back, you rely heavily on your personal brand, your expertise, your track records, and this is how you enter that door, open that door, and start the conversation.
Yes. This is the door opener for sure. But from other hand, I can be honest with you that it doesn't work like 100% very well. We have to change it a bit, because, for example, recent project, we signed a contract with very interesting customer, with very interesting project. But when I came to this customer and he knew me knew my my personality and my posts and my articles, but he still thought that I provide only consultancy work. So this is a challenge for us for these next weeks. We have to position ourselves more strict in software development, because that's exactly what we want to do.
Alex, what does it take you to build your personal brand? Could you share some stories?
Yeah, I can relate a lot to what Slava just said, because the way Productera has been built as selfishly it might sound, it's built on my shoulders, and I'm trying to get away from that, but still, because of everything that Slava already mentioned, still, like, I'm big part of marketing campaign, and we leverage a lot my personal brand. We do lots of events, conferences, LinkedIn outreach, networking, even this podcast, right? Like, it's all to leverage the personal brand and to project level of expertise to clients, and just to hold your ground in that sense. But I personally struggle with that concept, and maybe it's because I'm thinking too much long term. Like, there is only that much you can do to help the company grow from your personal brand perspective, and you're also holding the CEO role, right? So CEO has lots of things to worry about and to deliver to its team. How do you, Slava, like go about that? Do you worry about 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, like when Visla Code gets bigger, that a strategy based off personal brand and consultancy as you wouldn't survive, or your strategy is more like staying boutique small and just leverage that and maybe grow business because of extra services, or a little bit more higher prices? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, you understand everything right. So of course we think about future, and for sure our approach should not be based only on my personality, but now it works. And this is another promise of our brand when we talk to our customers, is that I am involved in projects. We are not a very big company, and I'm involved. For example, I always schedule bi-weekly calls with every shareholder in every project, because I have to understand customers' feelings, understanding of the situation, challenges, etc. And now we do this way. But you're absolutely right that we have to diversify our risks at least, and we are starting to show our CTO on the front line, and he is very good in that, and we are already gaining our brand awareness, and of course we work about that. For example, even in consultancy, I don't do it as a personal project. I do it on behalf of my company, of course, and we manage that understanding which brand is stronger for now. And of course, I have an experience when the companies approach me, and I see that some CEO approaches me on LinkedIn, for example, and ask me for a call. And when I come to this call, I see this sales manager who cannot answer my questions at all, and just read presentation for me. I don't want to become company this way, working this way. But until we can manage this personal approach, we will do that. And in terms of scaling, I don't want to scale into agency. I don't want to become agency. I don't want to have like 2,000 people who doesn't know each other, because in this case, one more time, we will talk only about prices, and in this case, we will not deliver business value. And from my point of view, this is not not a case for the future, because now you see that all biggest and strong companies have their own internal development centers, and the AI helps everybody with simple tasks, with simple lines of code, etc. And if you don't give additional value, added value to customer business, you don't have possibility to to grow this way.
Right. I think as I think we covered that at one of the episodes before, but the vision that I'd have is what we're doing in terms of the business is way beyond selling man hours. Mm-hmm. That's so we're exactly aligned with your vision on that. It's about creating value and bringing very narrow expertise to the clients where they need it, and they can really acquire that really fast from us versus going through lengthy compliance and HR process, trying to find the best expertise to get him on the payroll, all these struggles, while you can reach out to guys like you and get it like within whatever days, weeks, and then once the issue or problem or challenge is addressed, then you're done. You don't have any payroll running, indefinitely, and any obligations in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. Agree.
Cool. I've got a couple things I went digging on your LinkedIn that we can kind of jump into. So I talked a little bit about this, but I liked your post that was talking about the concept of a 30-day MVP. So what have you seen that can be realistically built in that 30-day timeline? Kind of functionality. I know we could talk about development timelines probably for the whole episode. Timelines and pricing, like that is like the development about that still in that very specialized, talking with enterprises, like can things really be like done and delivered at that MVP level?
MVP, this is we all know how what is MVP. It should be viable, not only minimal but also viable, and it depends on the case. For example, sometimes we have to give interactive prototype in 1 week. That's not a problem for us, and this is the MVP because our customer, I'm talking about real cases, our customer wants to go to his clients and potential clients and to show them interactive prototype as close to final result as he can. And usually this MVP builds in 30 days or sometimes in 2 months, sometimes in 1 week. It depends, heavily depend on customers' business and customers' targets. Usually this is one function. As I mentioned, we always ask about the first priority and first hypothesis we have to test. And MVP is always about testing those hypotheses and about understanding how the development will go further and how the product should look like. So we usually implement only one function, and that's usually enough to test hypothesis on a small group of people.
To contrast that, Alex, what was your experiences kind of building out MVP or the initial prototype in terms of that discovery process with the client?
Yeah, that's always part of the process when you start from the scratch. If our customer come to us and ask us about fixed price project, how much it will cost, I have such kind of fantasies. Tell us how much it will cost. We always ask him to think twice about that, and to go with interactive prototype with MVP. And after that, we establish bi-weekly sprint reviews and demonstrations. And this is part we always suggest to our customers, because this is, from one hand, it allows him to save money and to go on the market as fast as he can. And from other hand, it minimizes risks. We'll understand how it works, but not all customers do like that and understand this. And that's why we always suggest them to go through this staged approach.
Well, I've got one other one here where you're talking about building trust and development team. So you had an example where there was an internal team, a COO was asking for an external audit, and then how that situation could actually erode trust. And maybe talking about some better ways to build trust between internal and external teams.
I know that sometimes companies like ours try to, I don't know how to use in English, like term stick customer to themselves. And this is the thing we don't do at all. We always ready to work on repository of our customers, on Jira of our customer, with personnel of our customer, and we build joint teams, and they see every movement on our side, and they see every line of code the same moment we wrote it. This is one of parts of this trust, because we believe that we cannot stick our customers with artificial measures. For example, we will not give the code, and we will do everything in black box, etc. And this is inevitably go into sharing our faults, our experience, and our problems with our customers. And of course, the agile way of work also helps us to do that, and they can rely on that. And for example, we sometimes have problems with our projects, and we got several weeks ago a problem with our project with testing. We didn't cover all the test cases. It was a mistake on our side, and we had very good discussion with our customer, and we understand that this is our fault, and we fixed everything. And he didn't blame us, because he understands that we did our best during all the period of previous 5 months of delivery. And if we didn't give him such kind of transparency, so that's difficult to build this kind of trust. And the second part, even if we work with fixed price projects, we always try to go with time and material to build this kind of transparency, because it's beneficial for both sides.
Yeah, Alex, Ilya, anything to add there?
One thing about time and material, this is the safest business model probably to go the customer. So you don't do preliminary assumptions. You don't guess, right? Because it's hard to properly estimate that big unknown thing a customer wants to build, right? You just tell them, okay, let's approach that step by step. Let's start from one feature, one function, and go from there. And you've said that, yes, this is how we position ourselves. This is how we differentiate ourselves. But kind of, what would be your advice to other agencies to position themselves to avoid such mistakes as, for example, going after finding themselves in really tough situations when they can't deliver in time, or the scope is too big, or there are unknowns. So how would you approach that one?
I think that I have formulated, not in a proper way. Of course, we do estimates. And from the first project, sometimes customer not ready to go with pure time and material, because he don't know how it will go, what is the performance of our team, etc. I can give you an example. In one project, we estimated. We made an estimation, and we made a disclaimer that this is our vision. We made estimation of architecture, of our understanding of the service, etc. And this is, by the way, it was one of our competitive advantages why we won this competition for this project, because we made estimation about architecture and approaches in 2 days. And it was one of factors why we were chosen. And these estimates, after that, splits into steps, into stages, and we always transparently show our customer what changes and where we are, and how we manage scope, how we manage budgets, etc. In this particular case, I mentioned We estimated delivery in 5 months, and we made it in 5 months. And in terms of efforts and man hours and the budgets, there was a lot of changes because we built everything from the scratch. Nothing was very clear on a client side, etc. Of course, there was a lot of changes, but because of this kind of management, we got less than 20%, delta from initial estimates in budgets, etc. This is good result, and that's not a surprise for customer because he understood every stage and every issue which will lead to these changes. But still, we work with time and materials because he sees our team, he understands who works with the project, he see all the deliverables, and he see all the processes, all the source codes, and this is part of the trust. So next stage, of course, now we work easily, and we understand that, and he understands our performance, and we trust each other, and we work with pure time and material. But from the scratch, I can tell you that it almost no 100% of like trust from the first step, and we even if we work on time and material basis, we do estimates and we do manage scope because our customer will not be happy with surprises. we don't want them to have such kind of surprises. And that's not pure agile, but how it works. We are not orthodox, agile guys. So we combine, and we always have a plan, and we always have backlog, and we always have estimates. At least the best version we can deliver. We have not ideal, but the best version we can to prognose delivery of the project with all necessary links to external processes and external deliverers. And yes, we have project managers even on agile projects.
How do you manage talking about that hype cycle and actually the real practical applications for AI and fintech, and what's real, what's not? How do you navigate that with your clients?
First of all, a lot of clients they want to experiment with that, and they hear about those trends, etc., and they ask us to build something. And as I mentioned, we always ask them about the outcome they want to achieve, and sometimes we suggest not to use AI at all. And sometimes we do these, proof of concept, small projects, sometimes free of charge, sometimes for a small amount of money, just to use their data and to understand will it work or not for their particular case. And frankly speaking, talking about agents, I think this is the next big thing, and this is not a part of hype. So everybody, fed enough with LLMs, etc. Everybody understand how to use ChatGPT, APIs, etc. But what I see now is that it's difficult to understand the financial outcome of those projects, and sometimes it's just for fun, and because everybody have to support that. If you're walking through my LinkedIn profile, you will see one of posts after one of consulting projects when we did investigation on test applications for testing, software development testing, and we investigated for our customer how do they use AI. And frankly speaking, it was a surprise for us because we investigated more than 40 instruments. We installed every of them, and we tried to use them, but only maybe in 3 or 5 AI was something useful and was working. And other instruments, it was like marketing, buzz, nothing, nothing useful, nothing beneficial, but only marketing buzz. So with LLMs, everybody is happy already. Everybody understands how to use that. And the next step, I think, is to understand how to get money out of that. And agents, that's a very good approach, new approach, which helps us to deliver a complete business project with help of AI, business process with help of AI. This means that at least we will be able to build a real significant process inside the company. And another trend is that with agents and with LLM models, we can build in-house databases, knowledge bases. And with RAG approach, we also connect to structured data inside the organization. And this is the point when this is not a buzz. This is real instrument, and we have requests from our customers. They're afraid of using these completely cloud solutions. Now they want to use it in-house with their data, etc. So now I don't agree with that. This is the buzz, because this is, from my point of view, this is next big thing. And when we're talking about RAG approach, I can tell like RAG plus, yeah. And now we can use it together with data-driven culture inside company, together with data sources, structured data sources, and with agents, and that's something which will benefit to customers who will use it and who will look on the side. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Just to add a couple of things from my side, I think what hype is AI in general, not AI agents. It's just a particular aspect of it. And what we've been seeing so far, especially at large conferences like Web Summit here in Lisbon, for example, like every single startup puts something AI, like sprinkles AI on them, because these days it seems like VCs won't invest in your startup if there is no AI, sprinkled on top of it. So even if AI doesn't make sense from technology point of view, you will still say, oh, we have AI powered such and such, or we have this and that AI. So I think this is the hype. This is the buzz. AI agents, I think it's just very neatly designed technology that will be a big thing like in the coming years, and will change many things that even us doing, from the software development point of view. So I look at this that it's mainly AI is hyped, but not the AI agents.
Yeah. And, when I visited Web Summit at Lisbon, I always came to startups, and when I didn't hear AI in their pitch, I always ask, where is AI?
Right.
And they found that. I would like to add some, thing that I think is very important for us, and we watched that side and strategically have to plan to work with that, and we started to do that. This is so-called AI-enabled programmers, AI-enabled developers.
Yeah.
So for now, what we do, we deliver business value for sure, but without AI, we will struggle with performance in comparison with those who can use it. And
exactly.
This is the trend we are, as agency or IT company, have to follow.
Yeah, it's like I've heard it at a podcast a couple of days ago. It's not AI that will replace you. It's somebody else who knows how to use AI well.
Absolutely.
So it definitely applies to our business as well. So if you develop software without, Copilot or something like that, probably somebody else who does will replace you soon.
Yeah. And this investigation we've done for our customer, this is open data. We published article together with our customer. So I can tell you that AI gives, significant boost in performance, not only in development, but also in software testing, in automated testing, in test cases, in security testing, etc. So it really works, but still it's like small percentage of solutions which really use AI and really benefit from that. but it will be more and more significant portion of that approach.
Okay, guys, I think we can wrap it up. We're running out of time. So my last question, things that I personally really find challenging and find it at the same time interesting to work with as a CEO is building company culture. Because as you said, the value and the edge that we're creating as a software development company, it's deeply connected with who are working at the company, their level of expertise, their background, their experience. So, Slava, like, what do you do to attract and keep top talent in this competitive world? Because your company, my company, they're not Apple, not Microsoft. Like, we have limited number of tools that we can use to do that. So I'm curious, what do you do at Visla Code?
Yeah, if I can step back, like several years ago when I used to be strategy director at a bank, and we won HR brand #1, and we built agile culture and product-oriented culture in the bank. So IT company is a much more interesting thing than a bank. In a bank it was a bit more difficult to build that. And when we build this open culture with agile approach, with lower pressure because of mistakes, and ability to co-create and participate in creation of products. I remember one of a discussion with a candidate who came to our bank and wanted to be employed, and I asked him, why did you come here? So why did you choose to come and to ask us for job? And he told me that, I've heard on the market that something interesting is going on here. That's why I'm here. So for programmers and for developers, for technical people, that's very important to build something interesting they can participate in. What I see is that, first of all, we are very flat structure. We have very flat structure. We are very open. We talk honestly with people. This is what they value. On my previous job, when I was CEO of another IT company, and even when people left company, we made interview with them, and this factor was one of the most significant factors why they wanted to stay, but they couldn't for some reason. This was one of the positive things they mentioned, and this open culture and very flat structure, and co-creation is very important. When we are talking not about delivery and deadlines, but we are talking about business goals and results. Programmers like that, and they stay with you because they can participate in this changing world, initiative, etc. And the third factor, I can tell you that for us, that's important, specific of the project. For example, if our programmers used to work for several years for one market in Middle East, and after that they go and start to work on Mexican market. That's also interesting for them because there's different surrounding, absolutely different approach, different people, different market, different requirements. They like it, and they stick to team leaders who work with this with these products, and this kind of reinforcement culture, when we allow them to switch projects and to choose where to work and where to participate and support them, that I think that's pays off.
That sounds great. Thank you very much, Slava, for sharing. And and thank you for being a guest. And guys at Helsinki, thanks for taking the time from your business trip there and joining this discussion. I think it's been great.
Thank you. It was a pleasure from my side. Thank you very much for inviting me. I hope it was useful, and for me it was like it was very, very good exercise for me to think about those questions one more time.
Well, for the listeners, thank you for staying with us till the end. And if you like it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next shows. Thank you. Bye.